Cancel.
Schweezy.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So I've recently come across an article from Thought Catalog. Thought Catalog, I don't know anything about Thought Catalog, but I saw some recommended for you segments, which are going to be going on. We're going to be doing a lot of Cancel Schweezy. I'm telling you that. Let's freak on it. But this article came out in September 29th, 2014. So we're almost on the 10-year anniversary of this article, and I thought it'd be fun. Because this show, I feel as much as we make jokes here, we talk about our lives, I go over different topics or questions and answers. Overall, we are education. I feel like at the end of the day, this show is education. And with education, I have to say, we are going to go over things to help you learn. We're going to help you learn today. You're going to learn, you're going to succeed, you're going to thrive in our world. And that's the goal of Cancel Schweezy. Anyways, though,
Let's just jump into it.
9 gross things all girls do, but in parentheses, but love to pretend they don't. I mean, so first of all, I believe girls do gross things. I've met a woman. However, the one thing different with me is I didn't grow up with sisters, and I haven't necessarily actually lived with a significant other either. I know. Sorry, as you would do on the drinking game, you have to take a drink because I'm going to say it. I grew up Christian, so it was such a almost like if you you could pretend you're not having sex and people wouldn't notice, premarital sex. So, but you move in together, people are like, you're having sex, shit like that. So. My head itches, and then I have to redo my hair. Okay. So anyways, though, fellas, did you know women could be gross? And I actually also want to know, is this a deal breaker for you? Is this concept of these gross things that we're going to learn women do, fellas? Learn from my perspective. I've never had sisters, but I've had girlfriends, and I've never really lived with a woman. That's not my mother. So regardless,
Let's just jump into it.
Are women gross? We're going to answer this question. And I want to hear from you, and you got to leave comments or in your reviews and everything. I want to hear in the comments why, if you think something is like a deal breaker for you or, is gross or whatever, or your thoughts on what I think is gross. Anyways, though, number 1, first we have all girls poop. Let's start out with the obvious. Everybody poops, considering females. It was 2014. We have to stick with the language. It's like reading Tom Sawyer in school. Females fall under the category of everybody. This constitutes that we poop. Duh. And we like it. I'm not saying I, as a guy, like pooping. But I do enjoy, you get that, if you have a rough one, and you get it out and just that sigh of relief feels pretty nice, but it's not like I enjoy pooping. Sometimes you sit on it, you have a big ass turd, and it just it's the poop's bigger than your butthole, and that's all it is. But so yeah, all girls poop. Yeah, it's fine. And I don't even care. I'll talk to a woman about pooping. And you know what? I would still have sex with them that night. If a woman's like, all right, I'm going to tell you all my history of bowel movements and all my worst shits. And you're like, I have 2 stories of the worst diarrheas. I had the worst diarrhea I ever had. It was Arby's. I ate Arby's, and I was traveling and showed up the location. Me and a bunch of other guys who also ate Arby's. Broke a toilet. So that was the worst diarrhea of my life. Second time was at the Jersey Mike's in Hermitage, Tennessee. That's the second worst diarrhea of my life. I have clogged a toilet before. I'm not ashamed. But you're hearing that about a girl and you're like, okay, I will still have sex with you. That's not a problem. Unless I see you pooping, which even if we're in a situation where we're locked in the bathroom, I will look away and I'm fine with that. I don't need to see it. But feeling good, I don't think every guy thinks pooping feels good. I think we just do it, I think if you think guys think it's good, that's why you're in there for so long. No, guys, I've really learned because I've never been a guy who takes a long time to shit and shit like that. And then I've been hearing about all these boring ass married couples who are in the situation where they, like, their husbands are like, they're in the bathroom for like an hour or two to take a shit. I'm like, I think the situation you're in is your husband needs alone time, and you should give him that alone time. I know if you have kids, things are, you know, you have to do things how you do things, but at the same time, you can't be. I feel like being codependent is just not a good thing. I'm dealing with my mother right now. Or like my mother needing someone to help her. I'm like, I don't know. I think we should. I think I would, if I had a daughter, I would rather her to not be codependent or needing someone to be like, here's how to change a tire. It's no big deal. Anyways, though, that's pooping. Why did I get into that rant? Anyways, girls hate shaving too. If we're wearing panties, we probably didn't shave last night or the night before, but most likely all of last week. Too lazy to shave our armpits, shirts with sleeves. It is. No shave in November, me too. First of all, I'm going to reread that first sentence and just make sure I read it right. If we're wearing pants, we probably didn't shave last night. I mean, okay. Oh, okay. I thought I read something. If we're not wearing underwear or something like that. I thought I read that. Okay, never mind. False alarm. But no, that doesn't seem too unreasonable. I will definitely say, like, unless you're a porn star, you don't need to be perfectly shaven all the time, you know? I just think the times you do need to shave is if you're going to be, if genitals are going to touch. I feel like if genitals are going to touch or mouths are going to touch genitals, if genitals are involved, make sure you're shaving. You know, you got to groom down there. And I'm not saying you can't have a bush. You can't, you know, you got to groom yourselves, fellas. We got to groom yourselves. We do have a razor I'm trying to get as a sponsor. I need to get on that. That's on the list. But yeah, no, it's like it's like I don't like hair. It's like, oh, a woman, your legs are a little hairy. I'm like, unless you're like not lifetime source, so I'm like, it's been a couple days. You know, you can usually tell if it's been a couple days. Some women are just freaks of nature. Like, I have to shave every day. I'm like, and also they're taller than me too. So we're all saying what we all know what's going on. Number 3, we pick our noses too, and regularly, I might add. Lots of times it'll happen while driving. If I have a booger and no tissue, I'm going to wait until I can find a tissue. That's just weird. Now, if you're in the car, I feel like, you know, if you share a car, you got to be, you can't be doing booger shit like that. But if, like, you're the one who primarily drives said vehicle, like, you know, if you're a spouse and you're like, somehow we'll drive her car, you know, a little sexy. But no, we have a. But no, I can't imagine a woman. You know, there's just things both genders have, and I'm like, I can't imagine. It's like, oh, a girl shits and a girl has to wipe her ass, and a girl will like a bidet, like, because that's better than toilet paper. Yeah, I guarantee, you know, men and women both do that. Men don't bleed out of their vagina, so that's the thing men don't think about. But we all think about getting rid of boogers all the time. And, like, let's be honest, like, picking your nose isn't bad. It's just, like, where you're picking your nose. Like, I love just spitting it all out in the shower and then the next day just keep going back. But, you know, sometimes your fingers got to get in there. That's the thing. You can't be, like, picking your nose and then making dinner and shit like that. Like, you can't be doing that. It's got to be, you know, I think it's, like, it's good to just pick your nose. If, like, you have a booger in your nose, just go to the bathroom and pick it out, you know, and then, like, wipe it into a toilet paper, or flush it down the toilet even to guard your tracks or whatever, you know. Just don't, you know the wrong times to pick your nose. There's right times and wrong times to pick your nose, and we have to stop thinking that, like, oh, you can't pick your nose. There's a right and wrong time. I picked my nose on fucking podcasts. Don't talk to me. 4, we barely wash our bras. We've worn the same bra for an undetermined yet very, very long amount of time. And here's our logic. I didn't sweat today, so there's no need to wear a different bra tomorrow. Repeat, repeat, repeat. The limit does not exist. So, yeah, I agree with this. It's just like, it's like the smell test, you know. I feel like you should be able to rewear, like, underwear's different, you know. Everyone has their own opinion on the underwear thing, but I think with shirts, pants, like, we don't know pants. Unless you fucking shit your pants, then that's when you change them because you have underwear on. And underwear. Even then, though, I kind of feel like when it smells, that's when you change it, you know. For the most part, but, like, you know, I do go by some hygiene rules. But no, I assumed women did that, you know, because, like, the bras, like, I've taken off a few bras in my day, fellas, you know. But Yeah, but like those things are like some of those things are very padded for a reason we don't need to discuss on this podcast. I'm going to discuss it. It's because some chicks have tiny tits and then they want to make them bigger a little bit, and so then you take it off and you're like, oh. But I don't know. I'm fine with smaller. I'd rather have good small tits than bad big tits. If you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
What
5, our periods bring out the DIY in us. We've been forced to use rolled up toilet paper upon discovering that our periods just started. Extra gross points for those who got the whole day like this due to being busy in class working. Admit it, you've done it. No, I've not done it, but I also don't pee out of my vagina because I don't have a vagina. I have a little acorn down there. Wind soft. Wind soft only. So yeah, I've always actually kind of wondered that. Like I told you, my mom's not sharing this information with me. I don't have sisters, and I've never fully like lived with a woman. So that makes sense to me. Like that's always I wonder. I'm like, what happens when like their period starts and then like they don't have a tampon? I mean, I guess I just I've never. I've never had that discussion with a woman. I'm sorry. Sorry I'm not as cool as some of you in this. But yeah, no, I would assume. I was like, I always wondered, how they, like, it started, I need a tampon real bad. I didn't, I guess I thought they held it in maybe. Life works in mysterious ways, fellas. Number 6, we pee in the shower. Gross, or another way to conserve water, you be the judge. It's fine, dude. I do say, though, if you're going to pee in the shower, do it like... Try to do it before you clean yourself, but also at the same time, I mean, for guys, I don't know about women, so I guess... But also, women are a lot... Like, you have to really keep your vagina clean. Like, that's a fun thing. It's like, that's why women are usually cleaner than men, is because, like, they have to keep their vaginas clean or else. And then, like, guys, like... Our dicks can be a little dirty, and that's why those foreskin guys are just sticky and dirty and gross. But yeah, no. Yeah, but like peeing in the shower, though, I'm like, you're not getting pee on yourself, right? I'm like, I know if you have a little wiener, you can. And then even the dripples at the end of it. That's what everyone's like, oh, you missed the toilet. It's like, it was a couple of dripples. You know what? It's once, it's like turn off a hose. There's going to be a couple dripples there, too. The same thing. That's how we invented the hose, to be like a penis. I guarantee we invented the hose to be like a penis, like a tube, like a dick, and then we can just move water anywhere. But yeah, no, if you don't pee in the shower, you're a fucking liar. Like Josh Casey probably would be like, I don't pee in the shower. I'm better. I'm never pee in the shower. Sometimes like, you come up, you have your like Pajitsky effect theories. It's like, I never realized ABC as a news channel was like, BBC being British Broadcasting Company, or CBC, Canada Broadcasting Company, ABC being the American Broadcasting Company. He's like, you didn't know that? One time I even said to him, the Josh Casey hour, I said to him, like, apparently some women can have an orgasm when they give birth. I'm like, I would have never thought, as a guy without those genitals, I would have never thought, like, maybe if I pushed a baby out of here with his big old head, that maybe I would have an orgasm. And, it's just the thing. Some women can. He's like, you didn't know that? I'm like, how was I supposed to fucking know that? Some women probably don't even know that, okay? Don't, fucking... Anyways, though, Josh Casey, we all know you pee in the shower. Number 7, we bleed on our underwear. There are just too many period-related truths about girls, and this particular one simply can't be left out. We bleed on our underwear a lot, and then we'll rinse out our underwear in the sink. We will then leave said underwear in the sink whilst going out for the day. Then we forget underwear in the sink and subsequently horrify our visitor that goes in there to wash their hands. Typically, we don't learn our lesson, and then this will happen 7 more times. This sounds like a very specific situation under like the not bold text, but we bleed on our underwear. I'm like, that's also a question I've always had. I've asked women every question I've had about like sex related shit, and I know all those answers. It's like, I don't know about period. I'm not asking them about their periods. I'm not interested in that shit. But anyways, I'm like, how do they not get blood in their underwear all the time? That's why. Maybe that's a second reason. Women's underwear has a little pocket in the front. Maybe that's also to help with the blood stains as well. And then you keep your quarter in there for when you go to Aldi. And that helps you get the shopping cart. That's another reason why women's panties have a pocket in them. So yeah, number 8, we go extended periods of time without washing our hair. Our hygiene is questionable at times. We can go 4 days without washing your hair and validate it by using dry shampoo. No time to shower, wash off armpits, and apply a thick layer of perfume all over the body. No time to wash face, too lazy to wash face, no problem. Reapply new makeup over yesterday's crusty makeup. The makeup one, I don't know. I just have a very oily face, and that's why it's almost like your face is shiny on the podcast. And to that I say, fuck you. The lights don't help. Then we go like washing your hair. Like, you actually shouldn't wash your hair every day. That's really good. You should go 2 to 3 days without it. Sometimes I will go a week. And just like every once a week I wash my hair and shit like that, and then use dry shampoo in the meantime. So yeah, probably don't do it the whole week thing, but every maybe, if you're skeptical, go every other day, use dry shampoo on the off days, and then you're going to want to use dry shampoo on every day. But also, like, try there, and you'll see, like, your hair, like, if your hair is kind of oily, it'll surprisingly, if you use dry shampoo, it helps with the oily, because I guess, your hair makes natural oils too, and so you don't want to completely, so what shampoo does is completely erase it out, and then conditioner tries to reapply that to your hair, hopefully. But the natural shit, it only really works 1 to 2 days. And I'm not saying don't rinse out your hair. You need to use water to rinse out your hair and then dry it again. That's what you need to do. Anyways, number 9, we go commando. Okay, not all girls do this, and certainly not all of them seem at the time. Sometimes it's an accident and you have to roll with it, and sometimes it's completely voluntary. My current situation is grabs the ladder. Inclusion, come get us, boys. We're all yours. Okay. We go commando, meaning you're not wearing underwear. Not every, that's different. I know a lot of guys who go commando, and you're gonna ask, are they attractive? No, they're not. Imagine Bert Kreischer, mainly because he's one of them, and every other guy I've heard about that is also him. If we're going to go commando, unless y'all speak up, I'm going to say 80-20 on that. And you should have just stopped this thing at 8. 8 answers was probably the right one, if we're being honest about that. Thank you for watching this clip. Watch it again or watch something